Welcome to English Avenue YouTube, the channel to learn English the easy way. Let's start. Hello everyone, my dear friends. Today I want to take you on an extraordinary journey, one that tells the story of a woman whose name is engraved in the history of music and whose influence has reshaped the industry itself. This is not just a tale of fame or success. It is the chronicle of a relentless dreamer, a visionary who transformed her passion into an empire. She is not merely a singer, nor just a songwriter. She is a cultural force, a symbol of resilience, and a powerhouse whose artistry has touched millions across the globe. I am, of course, speaking about the one and only Taylor Swift. Her name is synonymous with talent, determination, and evolution. She has broken barriers, rewritten the rules, and carved a legacy that will echo through generations. From humble beginnings in a small town to standing atop the music industry as one of the most accomplished artists of all time, her journey is nothing short of remarkable. Her music transcends genres, her words resonate with the emotions of her audience, and her influence stretches beyond the confines of entertainment into fashion, business, and even social change. Her rise to stardom was not accidental, nor was it easy. It was built on sheer perseverance, undeniable talent, and an unwavering belief in herself, even in the face of adversity. Taylor Swift is a testament to the idea that with passion, hard work, and the courage to evolve, dreams can indeed become reality. So, join me as we dive into the extraordinary life of a woman who has shaped the soundtrack of a generation, shattered records, and proved time and time again that she is truly unstoppable. This is the story of Taylor Swift, the artist, the icon, the legend. Years ago, in a quaint and quiet town called West Reading, Pennsylvania, a little girl was born with a dream so vast that it would one day reshape the music industry. Her name was Taylor Allison Swift, and on December 13, 1989, she entered the world destined for greatness. Her early years were spent on a picturesque Christmas tree farm, where she was surrounded by the beauty of nature, the unwavering support of her family, and an unshakable belief that her voice was meant to be heard by millions. Even as a child, there was something undeniably special about her, something that set her apart from others her age. While most children her age were busy playing with toys or running freely through playgrounds, Taylor's mind was occupied with something else entirely. She had an innate connection to music, a deep passion that couldn't be ignored. Instead of spending her time on childhood games, she filled countless notebooks with lyrics, crafted melodies in her mind, and imagined herself standing in front of enormous crowds, performing songs that would one day touch hearts around the world. It wasn't just a passing hobby or a phase. It was a calling, something that coursed through her veins and refused to be silenced. Her parents, Scott and Andrea Swift, quickly recognized that their daughter was no ordinary child. They saw her dedication, her relentless creativity, and the way she lost herself in the magic of storytelling through music. It was clear that she wasn't just playing pretend. She was preparing for something bigger. They watched in awe as their young daughter displayed an artistic depth far beyond her years. And from that moment on, they knew that Taylor wasn't meant for an ordinary life. She was meant for something extraordinary. As Taylor grew older, so did her deep-rooted passion for music, fueled by her admiration for the legendary Shania Twain, one of the most influential figures in country music. She wasn't just a casual listener. She was utterly captivated by Shania's voice, her storytelling, and the way she commanded the stage. Taylor would spend endless hours absorbing every lyric, every melody, envisioning herself in the same position one day. She could already picture it, standing on a massive stage, bathed in the glow of the spotlights, hearing the thunderous applause of an audience that had come to hear her sing. It wasn't just a dream to her. It was a vision she held onto with unwavering certainty. Her dedication did not go unnoticed. At just 9 years old, her parents, Scott and Andrea, decided to nurture their daughter's talent, fully aware that this wasn't just a fleeting childhood interest. It was something deeper, something that had the potential to shape her future. They enrolled her in singing and acting lessons, hoping to help her refine her abilities and give her the tools she needed to grow as an artist. Taylor, of course, was more than willing to put in the work. Every day, she immersed herself in learning, absorbing everything she could about performance, vocal technique, and stage presence. It didn't take long before she started taking her first steps into the world of live performance. Local fairs, community gatherings, talent competitions. Anywhere there was a microphone and a stage, Taylor was eager to be there. She had a natural presence, an ability to connect with audiences, and a voice that could easily capture attention. But despite all of her early success, she felt that something was missing. She didn't just want to sing, she wanted to create. She wanted to tell her own stories, to put her own emotions into words and melodies. Being an interpreter of other people's songs wasn't enough. She needed to write her own music, to shape her own identity as an artist. Taylor Swift wasn't content with simply following the footsteps of those who had come before her. She was determined to carve her own path. At the tender age of 11, Taylor was already exhibiting a level of determination far beyond her years. She knew that if she wanted to make it in the music industry, she needed to be at the very heart of it. So, with unwavering confidence and a heart full of dreams, she convinced her mother to take her on a trip to Nashville, Tennessee, the legendary epicenter of country music. With a small stack of demo recordings in her hands, she walked into every studio and record label she could find, hoping that someone, anyone, would see the potential burning inside of her. But instead of doors opening, she found them slamming shut. Everywhere she went, the response was the same. Executives dismissed her, telling her she was too young, that her voice hadn't matured enough, that she lacked experience. They told her to come back when she was older, when she had more to offer. For most children, this level of rejection would have been crushing. Many would have taken it as a sign to stop chasing an unrealistic dream and find something else to focus on. But Taylor was different. She refused to let their words discourage her. She refused to let anyone dictate what she was capable of achieving. Instead of letting those rejections break her spirit, she let them fuel her ambition. She returned home more determined than ever, with a fire inside her that could not be extinguished. If Nashville wasn't ready for her yet, then she would make sure that by the time they were, she would be undeniable. She dedicated herself to honing her craft like never before. At just 12 years old, she picked up a guitar and taught herself how to play, spending hours every single day strumming chords, experimenting with melodies, and writing song after song. She wasn't just singing anymore. She was creating. Every feeling, every experience, every fleeting thought found its way into her lyrics. She turned her emotions into music, transforming personal moments into stories that others could relate to. She didn't just want to be another aspiring artist. She wanted to be a songwriter, a storyteller, a voice that people would remember. And with every song she wrote, with every note she played, she was getting closer to proving that those who had doubted her had made a mistake. Taylor Swift wasn't just waiting for an opportunity. She was preparing herself to seize it. 2 years of relentless dedication, countless hours of practice, and an unbreakable will to succeed finally led Taylor to the breakthrough she had been waiting for. One evening, while performing at a small cafe in Nashville, her voice and presence captivated an audience member who would change the course of her life. That man was Scott Borchetta, an ambitious music executive who had a vision of shaking up the country music industry. At the time, he was in the process of launching his own record label, Big Machine Records. And when he saw Taylor perform, he knew instantly that she was the artist who could bring his vision to life. Unlike the executives who had turned her away before, Borchetta saw more than just a young girl with a guitar. He saw potential, raw talent, and an undeniable spark. Without hesitation, he offered her a contract, making her the very first artist to sign with his brand new label. It was the moment Taylor had been working toward her entire life. The rejection she had faced before no longer mattered. She had earned her chance, and she was ready to prove that she belonged in the industry. From that day on, Taylor threw herself into her work with even greater intensity. She didn't just want to be another name in the industry. She wanted to be a force to be reckoned with. She spent countless hours in the studio, refining every detail of her music, writing songs that spoke from her heart, and making sure that her debut album would be nothing short of remarkable. She was involved in every step of the process, making sure her music reflected her authentic self, her emotions, and her journey. Then in 2006, at just 16 years old, she released her self-titled debut album, Taylor Swift. It was the culmination of years of hard work, dreams, and determination. The album introduced the world to a fresh new voice in country music, one that was young, relatable, and full of raw emotion. The lead single, Tim McGraw, resonated with audiences immediately, capturing the bittersweet nostalgia of young love and leaving a lasting impression. Practically overnight, the girl who had once been turned away by Nashville's biggest labels became the industry's newest sensation. Suddenly, her songs were being played on the radio, her face was appearing on television screens, and her name was gracing the covers of major magazines. She wasn't just a hopeful musician anymore, she was a rising star. And though this was only the beginning of her journey, one thing was clear: Taylor Swift had arrived, and the music world would never be the same again. Taylor Swift was never just another artist following trends, or writing songs simply to please the masses. From the very beginning, she made it clear that her music was a reflection of her life, an honest, emotional, and deeply personal journey set to melody. Unlike many singers who relied on external songwriters, Taylor crafted her own lyrics, drawing inspiration from her own dreams, heartbreaks, disappointments, and moments of self-discovery. This authenticity became her greatest strength. Her words resonated with listeners in a way that made them feel seen, understood, and connected to her story. It was this raw honesty that set her apart, allowing her to forge an unbreakable bond with her fans. But for Taylor, success was never something to be taken for granted. She understood that the music industry was unpredictable, and if she wanted to remain at the top, She would have to constantly evolve, refine her artistry, and push herself to new creative heights. Her ambition, combined with her relentless work ethic, drove her forward, and in 2008, she released her second studio album, Fearless. This album was a defining moment in her career, one that elevated her from a rising country star to a global sensation. Fearless was more than just an album, it was a cultural phenomenon. Songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me became anthems of an entire generation, capturing the essence of youthful romance, ambition, and the desire to carve out one's own destiny. These tracks were not just played on country radio. They dominated pop charts, proving that Taylor's reach extended far beyond any single genre. Her storytelling ability, combined with her unique sound, earned her countless awards, including multiple Grammys, and solidified her as the brightest star in country pop. However, even as her success skyrocketed, Taylor learned a hard lesson. Fame comes with challenges, scrutiny, and moments of deep humiliation. In 2009, at the MTV Video Music Awards, she won the prestigious award for Best Female Video for You Belong With Me. It was supposed to be a moment of triumph, a recognition of her artistry and hard work. But just as she stepped onto the stage, overwhelmed with excitement and gratitude, something shocking happened. In front of millions of viewers, rapper Kanye West stormed the stage, took the microphone from her hands, and declared that Beyoncé had one of the best music videos of all time. The entire room fell silent. Taylor, standing there in her sparkling silver dress, could only watch as her moment of celebration was ripped away from her. The humiliation was public and unforgettable. While the audience booed Kanye for his actions, the damage had been done. She had been embarrassed on one of the biggest nights of her career, in front of her peers, industry professionals, and millions of fans around the world. But Taylor was never one to be defined by setbacks. Instead of allowing the controversy to break her, she did what she had always done best. She turned her pain into music. She poured her emotions into her songwriting, transforming that moment of humiliation into fuel for some of the most powerful and empowering songs of her career. Through her music, she reclaimed her narrative, proving that no setback, no matter how public or painful, could ever silence her. If anything, it only made her stronger. Taylor Swift's artistic evolution was unstoppable. With each new album, she pushed the boundaries of her creativity, reinventing herself while staying true to her core identity. She was not afraid to take risks, experiment with new sounds, and challenge expectations. Her 2010 album, Speak Now, was a testament to her growth as a songwriter. It was entirely self-written, proving to the world that she was not just a singer, but a true lyricist with a gift for storytelling. Each song painted a vivid picture, capturing moments of love, heartbreak, dreams, and personal triumphs. Then came Red in 2012, a defining moment in her career. With this album, Taylor broke free from the traditional country sound that had defined her early years and ventured into the realm of pop. The album was a mix of raw emotions, powerful ballads, and upbeat anthems. Songs like We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together and I Knew You Were Trouble became instant hits, showcasing her ability to craft infectious pop melodies while maintaining the depth of her songwriting. Red was the bridge between the country star Taylor had been and the pop icon she was destined to become. By 2014, she fully embraced her pop transformation with 1989, an album that marked a new era in her career. Inspired by the synth-pop sounds of the 1980s, 1989 was fresh, bold, and unapologetically different from anything she had done before. It was a massive success, earning her a Grammy for Album of the Year and producing chart-topping singles like Shake It Off, Blank Space, and Style. With this album, Taylor was no longer just a country star experimenting with pop. She was now a full-fledged global pop phenomenon. However, with immense success came intense scrutiny. The world was watching her every move, and not everyone was cheering her on. The controversy with Kanye West, which had begun in 2009, resurfaced in 2016 when he released a song containing lyrics about Taylor that she had never approved. The situation escalated when Kim Kardashian released a selectively edited recording that made it seem as though Taylor had given her consent. The internet turned against her, branding her a liar, a manipulator, and a snake. Overnight, she became the target of online hate, and the media delighted in tearing her down. As if that betrayal was not enough, Taylor suffered another devastating blow. The masters of her first 6 albums were sold without her permission. After years of hard work, pouring her soul into her music, she suddenly found herself stripped of the rights to her own creations. It was a violation, a moment that made her realize just how much control she had lost over her own legacy. Many artists in her position might have crumbled under the weight of such immense pressure. They might have retreated, given up, or allowed the world to dictate their fate. But Taylor Swift was different. Instead of surrendering, she meticulously planned one of the greatest comebacks in music history. In 2017, she emerged from the darkness with Reputation, an album that was more than just music. It was a statement, a declaration of war against those who had tried to silence her. Gone was the innocent country girl who had once sung about fairy tales and heartbreak. In her place stood a woman who had been through fire and emerged stronger than ever. Reputation was bold, fierce, and unapologetic. Songs like Look What You Made Me Do and Ready for It carried a message of defiance, proving that she was no longer playing by anyone else's rules. She embraced the snake imagery that had been used against her, turning it into a symbol of resilience and reinvention. The world had tried to bury her, but Taylor Swift had done what she always did. She took the pain, transformed it into art, and came back stronger than ever. Reputation was not just an album. It was her way of reclaiming her voice, proving that no matter how many times people tried to bring her down, she would always rise again. Today, Taylor Swift is far more than just a singer. She has established herself as a brilliant businesswoman, a fearless advocate for artists' rights, and one of the most influential figures of our time. She has transcended the boundaries of music to become a symbol of perseverance, creativity, and empowerment. Her Eras tour has not only shattered records, but has also redefined what it means to be a global superstar, proving that her connection with her fans is stronger than ever. Her albums continue to dominate the charts, breaking barriers and setting new industry standards, while her lyrics continue to resonate deeply with millions of people around the world. What sets Taylor apart is not just her extraordinary talent, but her unwavering resilience. She has shown the world that success is not solely about fame or fortune. It is about the ability to endure hardships, to adapt, to grow, and to rise above every challenge that comes your way. Every time she has been underestimated, every time she has been pushed aside, She has come back stronger, turning adversity into motivation and pain into art. She has not only revolutionized the music industry, but she has also become a beacon of hope for those who dare to dream big, for those who refuse to let their circumstances define them. Her story is proof that anything is possible. It is a reminder that passion, hard work, and an unbreakable spirit can lead to extraordinary achievements. But Taylor's journey is not just hers. It is an inspiration for anyone who has ever felt unheard, for anyone who has ever doubted themselves, and for anyone who has ever faced obstacles that seemed impossible to overcome. This is her story, but it can also be yours. Because if she could make it, if she could fight against the odds, face rejection, rise from the ashes, and carve her name in history, then so can you. The world is waiting to see what you are capable of. The question is, are you ready to write your own story?